Hey everyone, I'm here with Jase Peri again, print-on-demand expert with KDP. How you doing, Jase?
I'm doing very well, Juna. Always happy to talk to you. Looking forward to this conversation as well.
Me too. So last time you were on was about 4 months ago, last year in 2025, and I wanted to have you on again in 2026 to see some updates, talk about KDP again. Maybe there are some differences in 2026. We'll see. But first, for those that didn't see that, can you give us like a little intro about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in print on demand since 2018.
Wow.
I've sold over 1 mil in digital products, like mostly t-shirts and books, and that includes the sale of my merch by Amazon account, which I've sold the merch by Amazon account. So I've pretty much tried everything in pods. Like I've done the merch by Amazon, KDP, Etsy, Spreadshirt, all of them. I've tried everything out. And the one thing that hooked me was KDP around 2023. That hooked me. That's Kindle Direct Publishing, for the people that know. It's basically where you self-publish a book and put it onto Amazon. And I'm doing that mostly now. And I also teach my followers and students how to self-publish books onto Amazon and make money. So that's basically my journey in a nutshell at the moment.
Nice. Very cool. I love the journey. Well, most of my subscribers or followers actually do t-shirts. My question is, why should anyone that designs t-shirts care about Amazon KDP? Is there a relationship there?
Yes, good question. Here's the thing, Juna. If you're good at t-shirts, right? Honestly, you'll smash KDP, and I actually mean smash it, because here's the reason, right? If you think about what sells a t-shirt, so you find a niche in demand, you got a good quote, and you got good typography, a design, and then what sells a book? You find a niche in demand, and instead of a good quote, you got a good title, and it's the good typography that sells the book. So it's very relatable in that sense. And I learned this from my coaches, because I was always obsessed with getting the inside of the book right. And what they told me, and they make a lot of money on KDP, way more than I do. They told me that most of the sales is from the actual cover, the book title, and the typography. So when I knew that, and I started focusing more on the book title and cover, that's when my sales took off. And a lot of the skills I transferred from merch by Amazon, because all my best-selling shirts on merch by Amazon, I'd focus on typography, right? So I just started focusing on that in KDP, and that's what took my account to like 5 figures. So anyone that's good at t-shirt designs, I would say it's worth a try, because it's the front cover that sells the book. So if that looks good, you've got a good chance of selling books.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, very relatable. So anybody that's doing t-shirt designs and doing that well has the skills, right, that they need to do KDP. My second question is, how difficult is it to make a book? You talk about the cover, but how about the whole thing? How difficult is it to make the book to sell on KDP?
Yeah, so, well, with AI now, it's pretty easy. There's certain types of books that you can create in minutes. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping on the color book thing now, because you can literally create a whole color book interior in minutes. I kind of stay away from that. I teach my students to stay away from that, because when it's that easy, it's almost like anyone can do it. The prices are so low. So that those easy books aren't great to sell. Like, you can create it, but you're not going to make money long term. Not that I can see. So I would say, like, use AI as a tool, so you can create a book. You can create in a day. My students create books in a day, but good books that you can sell at a high price. It's not really that difficult. You're talking about ChatGPT to generate like words. If you think like books like trivia books, facts books, very words heavy books that you can create in ChatGPT in minutes, then it's a case of formatting in Canva. But I mean, the whole process can take you like 4 to 6 hours to create the whole book. That's like how fast I can create a book.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I'd say it's relatively easy. Yeah, relatively easy. Not as easy as a t-shirt.
Not as easy as a t-shirt, but you don't want it to be easy, because if it was easy, like you said, everybody could do it, and then, so you kind of want to raise yourself above the competition, right? Like you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always say. The more unique your pages are inside a book, because if you think a book on Amazon, if you think in terms of what Amazon's thinking, they want a unique book on there. They don't want someone just publishing like the same thing over and over again, although they let it slide because you can still make some sales. The closer you can get to a unique book, as if you're an author, you're coming on there to create a unique experience for the customer, the closer you can get to that, the better. And we basically use AI as a tool to get us to the position, because that's the way, in my opinion, you make long-term money on KDP. Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I like that you did both Amazon, what we do, merch on demand, and Amazon KDP. What are your thoughts comparing the two now that you've done both? Can you share your thoughts on the differences?
Yeah, sure. With KDP, I think you could be more creative, because if you think that t-shirts, you're kind of limited by the design and the apparel. With books, you can kind of go into all sorts of interesting directions. You've got different types of books. You've got activity books, workbooks, story, trivia, and then you can combine stuff, and then plus all the different people that you can target as well. And you can, with self-publishing, you can build a brand around your books as well. So if one does well, just say you do a senior book for women, you could do senior book for men, then you can do senior book for both of them. You can kind of build a brand around it, and people will, you could build a bit of a fan base, so people will buy all your books when you release them. So, and also, like, I've been in I've been in the pod game for 2018, and I've seen people make more money in self-publishing than on t-shirts because of that. I think because of the barrier to entry is a little bit more harder, and there's a lot more moving parts to it. It gives you a higher ceiling. You can make a lot more money with books, compared to t-shirts. Plus, you barely get any returns as well. That's the thing. I noticed that. I think I mentioned this last podcast with the December t-shirt sales, where they say rent a shirt for Christmas, had about 20% returns, but for books, you barely get any. I've never seen any returns really. So
I get that. So many returns for the holidays or any big thing.
It's annoying, but
it's super annoying, and we eat the cost. I think you might have answered this already, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because I think a lot of my subscribers would want to ask this question. And the question is, how easy or difficult is it to make money with KDP?
Oh, yeah. Of course, the question everyone wants to know. Yeah, it can be easy, or it can be very hard. Like, I sell all my books within 7 days. I've never not sold a book in the last 42 days, and my students as well. Many of them sell in like within a week. Like that's the easy part when you know how. One of my ladies that I'm coaching, one of the women that I'm coaching now, she had a book on Amazon for 10 years, and it didn't sell. And then she just implemented a few of my strategies, just sold within a week. So it's kind of like if you know how to do. It's all about knowing like what customer to target, and more importantly, what type of book title to sell to that customer. It's like the title, just like a quote sells a t-shirt, the title sells the book to that customer. So you do a specific quote for a specific customer. Same with books. You do a specific title for a specific customer. And if you do that right, the sales come easy. And unfortunately, not a lot of KDP sellers do that. They don't really focus on the title and the typography, and then they struggle. So it's a big spectrum. It's kind of when you know what to do, when you know what to do, then it's a lot easier. So
that makes sense. I think some people might be scared about, like, there's so much on Amazon, right? Everybody's on Amazon. Is there really room for a newcomer to make money on Amazon with KDP?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, when you look at Amazon, like t-shirts, books, you just see like pure saturation now. I mean, AI's come along here. Now, I actually think saturation is good. I've actually had someone ask me just a couple of days ago, is it too saturated? And I said to them, I think saturated is good because it proves demand. And what it is I think Amazon are so on point with their customer experience. And you probably see this with t-shirts. What you do, you'll see that if you put t-shirts or books in new release order, you'll see like pages and pages of these t-shirts. For some reason, Amazon know which ones to move to the front. So they're very, very big on customer experience. So the customers don't see all that 50 pages of like AI t-shirts or AI books there. So I think what it is you might have 1,000 like KDP sellers that might sell one book, but then you got one KDP seller selling like 1,000 books. So it's very much to do with the strategy. Most self-publishers have no strategy. So I teach a very simple strategy to my students. I say we pick one customer that's got the money, and you just keep publishing books to that one customer. So the idea is, so if you're a newcomer, this is what I would recommend. If you're a newcomer, you want to get to your first $1,000, you find one customer that's got the money to pay you that $1,000, and you just stick to that one customer, and you just keep creating books until your books are good enough. Because if that customer is there, they've got the money, they're spending money on books, and the evidence is there, the numbers are there, there's no reason to move to another customer. All it means is that your books just need to get better until they're good enough to take the money from the customer. So I teach a very simple system, Junior, because a lot of my students, when they come to me, they say, I've published this book, that book, this book, and it's about like 3 different niches. No idea who the customer is. So I'll just help them. I'll just say, just find one customer and just keep publishing until you get goods. Yeah. Very, very simple, I think, when you look at it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people might have the question then, what types of books sell well on Amazon with KDP? Could you give us some examples?
Yeah, I mean, this is where I think creativity is big with KDP, because literally any book. Now, this is where the fun begins for me, because when you find a customer that starts paying you and you start understanding, this types of books work, this is when your creativity can come into play, because then you can literally do any book. If you're selling good puzzle books to that niche, you can try a story book, you can try a trivia book, you can try a workbook. Then it starts getting fun, because it's like, what else does this customer want? Let me give them some options because they might buy it. So what types of books sell? Like literally anything. It's about finding that customer and giving them options, and just being good enough with the title and cover for them to pay attention to your book, for them to think, okay, I might try that book as well. But it's when you go onto Amazon, you see there's a whole range of varieties of books. Like you can literally sell anything. But saying that, if you're a beginner, and I'm just going to assume some beginners are watching me, you don't want to get too hung up with like a book that's too complicated. Like some of my guys spend 3 weeks, 6 weeks just producing the book. That's no good. Like when you're starting out as a beginner, what the best thing to do is find a book style that you can create quick, the book style, find a customer that you can pair that with, and focus more on the title, cover, and some ads as well to get in front of them. Focus more on the title, cover, and how that book shows perceived value to that customer, if that makes sense. Yeah, nice. I've kind of gone off. Yeah,
no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Great advice for newcomers coming into KDP. Do you have any other advice for people just starting off with KDP?
Yeah, I kind of touched on it earlier with the sticking to one customer, but I always say it's the workflow is more important when you're beginning out. Don't get too hung up with like, is this book good enough yet? Just make the book good enough and get it published. And remember, if you're sticking to one customer now, it's a case of, I'll get that book out as quick as possible let me get the next book out, try a different angle. Just like if you were doing t-shirts, you pick a niche, say anime niche. You might try cats and anime. Okay, I'll put that out there. Let me try drawing an anime, dogs and anime. That same sort of thing. So KDP, it's a case of being able to like have a good workflow to produce more books to start out with, so you can kind of learn what types of books start selling. So advice for a new person, just publish. Like I teach my guys to publish, like they can publish in 24 hours, have a book live in 24 hours. I actually added like this, we'll talk about like in my course, I added this bonus module because I wanted the guys to be able to publish really, really quick. Because I think that's the key thing, that it's a good foundation to start with. When you can publish quick, you learn more, you build up a library of books, and also the compounding of knowledge and library books. Logically, it just equals making money faster.
Nice. Wow. So much good advice, Jase. Thanks for sharing that on this channel. Where can people find you if they want to get even more advice on KDP? Where are you most active on the socials? I think I've seen you on Instagram, right? Yeah.
I'm most active on Instagram. I've just started doing YouTube videos as well, so you can find me here. But Instagram, I check my DMs like every day. So if you're seeing this, feel free to give me a shout. And if you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, I put the two down here. So we got the Instagram over here and the YouTube over there. So you can follow those. Real easy to find. It's just your name. So it's perfect. Last time you were here, we talked about your course. I wanted to get kind of an update on how that's going, any success stories, and so on, about your course that you made to help people with KDP.
Yes, it's done better than I thought. You know, you always wonder. I always think, it was always in the back of my mind, is this actually going to work? So it's great to start getting testimonials back. It's been about like about 3-4 months now. I've had a couple of students cross the $1,000 mark, which is great. That's nice. That's great. It's really helping people very step by step. It's helped a lot of people that don't know how to create books, like actually create books and actually get published quick. Takes a lot of the confusion away. So I'm getting close to 1,000 students now. So it's building up nicely. And I think it's just cool seeing people make like their first sales, things like I said about that woman in my coaching group who had a book like not making sales for like 10 years. And she emails me like, oh my God, I made my sale. This is amazing. It's like those little wins for me. I love seeing that. And so, I mean, if you want to learn the process properly, like from start to finish, step by step, that's what my course is for.
Nice. All right. So we'll put a link in the description there so people can see it, a link to there. It's always great to have you on, Jase. So glad that everything's working out and that you can help people and other people are learning like what you've passed on. So what you've taken a long time to learn, and now you're giving that to other people. I think that's awesome that those that want to do books and want to sell on KDP, maybe want to do something else besides t-shirts or instead of t-shirts. This is another avenue that's really profitable and fun, sounds like. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, exactly that, Juna. Thank you for having me on again. It's been good being here again.
Yeah, always great to have you on. We're gonna have to check up again in a few months and see how everything's going. When does KDP have like a up and down like t-shirt sales, or it depends on what you're selling? Does it like take off in Christmas time?
Oh yeah. Christmas is crazy, just like t-shirts. I think you could literally have a KDP strategy that just revolved around you making books from around October.
Oh, I see.
Come in October and that's it. Because the amount of sales that you can get if you get on the right niche.
Yeah.
I did a reel on this the other day where I noticed the guys that just come on just to grab the money and go. One of them was a simple journal. Like the journal was ridiculously simple, almost bordering on daylight robbery, but their cover, this is what I mean by title and cover. Their title was very giftable. It was something like things you can't say that HR won't approve, or something like one of those office style journals, where you write down stuff you can't say out loud, or things like that, like cussing your work colleagues or whatever. That literally took off. You guys, your viewers probably know about BSRs, but that dropped below like 500 BSR across the whole range. So it was in like the top 200 books, and that's just one. And I did a reel about it, just calculating that was making like, I don't know, 5 to 10 grand a day. Just that one journal. Complete inside of the journal was complete basic, nothing special. But I had to do a little case study in it just to push my point that people buy based on the title and cover. They will buy it like that because they're looking for a gift. So if you can have a really giftable title and cover, you can be in to make a lot of money. And definitely Christmas, everything spikes up like crazy. But of course, you got evergreen as well that sells as well. So you can make money all year round if you're in the right niches.
That makes sense.
You've got the right titles and covers.
That makes sense. Well, we definitely might have to have you on before Christmas to give people that push again, and let people know how to do this if they want to get on and get those Christmas sales. So
cool.
Maybe
I'll share with your viewers the types of books that I'm doing actually, just so they can kind of see like what it takes. I could share like the books that have done well.
Yeah.
Just so you can kind of see what I mean about title covers. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this has been great, Jase. So much good information. Again, if you want to find them, I have the links down here, and we'll have a link to the course if you're interested in that. I think KDP is so fun. It's a great way to be creative with books, with something else. So we'll see you next time, Jase. Hopefully.
All right. Thanks, Junior, for having me on. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.